When I had the opportunity to apply for a job, back then it was Texaco. It had been Texaco for about 78 years or so. It was one of the refineries that later became Shell, Equilon, Tesoro. Now it's Endeavor, and then now it's going to become Marathon. But when they were looking for a public affairs manager, it had been after a series of really negative explosions. It had a series of explosions back in the 90s, in 93 and 97. They had two. It was really bad. And in 98, they needed somebody local to help them build a relationship with the community. And I applied for the job. And I'll be honest with you, I applied for the job thinking I am going to go in there and I'm going to catch them in the act. I am going to catch them and I'm going to report them and I'm going to let everybody know how much they're hurting our community. It didn't take long for me to realize that there were really good people working there. They were doing a lousy job of communicating with the community, but they were an important industry. There were people there that were making really good living, providing for their family, and fulfilling a service that we needed, gasoline. And so I worked there for 8 years, made some really, I hope, helped make them good decisions for the community, guided them in investing in the community in terms of contributions to the community, opening the doors, creating the community advisory panel. There were just so many things that I think if they had just opened the doors a little more, the community would understand what they were doing and what the benefits were of it wasn't like they're going to go anywhere, and neither are we as residents going to go anywhere. So we need to do a better job of communicating. And so I worked there for 8 years trying to do that. I feel like there wasn't much more I could do at that point, and I was offered an opportunity to apply for a job at the port. There was an expression back there in Spanish that I went from Guatemala to Guatepeor. I went from the oil industry to the ugly, horrible port of LA. And I slept on that decision for about a month because it was a daunting task to go from something I knew and I had been doing for 8 years to come and work for the oil to work for the port that was just, in my opinion back then, really doing a lousy job of just disrespecting Wilmington, in my opinion. I came to work for the port after having fought with a good friend of mine, Ken Melendez, to turn around, to basically take back property that the port had been acquiring over a number of years to expand into Wilmington. And our fight was to say enough, no more. You've come close enough to our community. This land that you have purchased, you're going to do something to create a buffer between your operation and ours. I was on that side when I was hired to come and work for the port. So it was scary to do that. But I mean, I am intelligent enough to understand the importance of what the operations of the port are to my community and to the thousands of people that work there rely on it. Not just the ones that work there, but the jobs that are associated with it. I mean, I have at the time had many cousins who were truck drivers and people that worked in the warehouses, and so I understood the value in them. But I really did feel back in about when I joined them, which was 2006, 2007, that they were just, a lot of the negative operations of the port were leaving San Pedro and going into Wilmington. And I could see how improvements were happening to the San Pedro waterfront. And it's like, wait, what about us? We're just as much a part of this harbor department as is San Pedro. And so when I was interviewed, Dr. Ralph Happy was one of the ones that interviewed me, Julie Huerta. And it's like, why do you want to come and work here? And it's like, you guys need to hear from my community because I don't think you are. I really do not think you are. And so I miraculously got offered the job, and 12 years later, I'm still there.